defensive front just has to be dominant because of all the 5 first-round picks, all the money in there. That's just the expectation. They've been really good. Do you feel like they've been dominant, or what do you think? Where they are right now?
I feel like they've been disruptive. I feel like at times they've been dominant. They've really taken over games, especially Eric. I mean, all of them have had their moments, so you can single out any single one of them. Bosa, Eric, D. Ford, DeForest, Ronnie Blair. Solly has had his moments. Julian has had some great plays in there, and obviously DJ. So I think every one of them has their strengths and weaknesses, but these guys have, with Chris Kasarik have been incredible to start the season and giving us in the back end and linebackers a lot, made our jobs a lot easier.
When you're talking about making your job a lot easier, I guess drawing on your experience with the Seahawks, is there a game that comes to mind when you're just like, good Lord, you know, we basically don't have to do anything except maybe wait for a bad throw to come to us?
Well, I mean, you always got to do something. That's how it works. You got to make sure the quarterback isn't seeing looks, he isn't seeing guys open. But you could do that. We did that at times last year, and the guys aren't open in rhythm, and the guy gets another hitch and another hitch and another hitch, and then he finds him after his third hitch, and guys are like, "Oh my God, this is a terrible defense," and it's like, really not. I mean, he wasn't there. He didn't find him on his first look. He didn't find him at the top of his drop. He found him at 5 seconds, at 6 seconds. And I think the strength of this D-line is that they're never letting him get comfortable enough to feel like he could hit him in rhythm. He can't feel like comfortable when he hits the back step. He's going to have somebody in his face. He's going to have somebody in his lap, somebody chasing him, or somebody pushing a tackle or a guard into his lap. And that's what you appreciate. That gives us the ability to play fast and to trust that we're going to work in unison when we're covering the back end.
With the Seahawks, I think, what was it, between 12 and 13, you guys picked up Bennett and Averill.
Yep.
Can you kind of compare what 17 or 18 to 19 and that transition was? Is it a similar kind of improvement, pass rush help in the secondary?
Yeah, it's definitely a similar improvement. It's just, like I said, it's guys putting a lot of pressure on them, making them uncomfortable back there. Anytime a quarterback's uncomfortable, when he gets to his drop, he doesn't feel the same. When he's looking at deep development passes, they can't block it the same. And in the back end, you understand that they can't run the same double move, triple moves that they're accustomed to running. When they get those kind of protection looks, somebody's going to break down. Somebody's going to win a one-on-one, and that's what makes this D-line has made this D-line so great early in the season.
What advice have you given Emmanuel Mosley this week?
Just trust himself. He's a really good player. He can play at a high level, and understand that this game isn't any different than any he's played in the past. It'll be a cool moment for him. I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to get out there.
What did you see from him, whether it be in the off season, in the meeting room, or on the practice field, where you're like, okay, this guy gets it, and we trust him?
Well, he just doesn't back down from anybody. I think that's the one of the greatest barometers for me when watching a player is how he treats different opponents. Does he treat the main guy and the seventh receiver the same, or does he treat him different? Does he approach it differently? Is he less scrappy? Is he more reserved and conservative in his approach when he's the guy? But you get E-Man up there, and it doesn't matter, who it is. It doesn't matter if he's going against the ones, the threes, the twos, the starter, the backup, a rookie, a vet. He's going to approach it the same way every time, and he's going to be scrappy. He's going to be competitive. He's going to be close to the ball, and he's going to have a chance to make a play at it on the football. And that's all you can ask for at the corner spot.
Are you describing yourself as well from 2011? Do you remember your starting debut?
Yeah, I may have, I appreciate that. I may have.
I was asking, I wasn't telling.
I may have been known to cut a rug back in my day. But honestly, it's a little different for him. But I think that is huge opportunity, and I think he's going to embrace it the same. And he's not going to. I think that on the outside, people are more anxious and feel, kind of odd about it than we do. We feel very comfortable and confident with the guys that we're putting out there.
Who did you make your starting debut against? Do you remember?
AJ Green, the Bengals.
How'd it go?
It went good. I got me a pick. I should have had 2. A few balls thrown, a few conversations afterwards, the whole run around.
So that's his, E-Man's bar is to get at least one. And
Well, it's a different journey for you, man. It's going to be. He's an SEC guy. I'm a Pac-10 guy. So the journey's different. But I look forward to him having a great game.
I feel like you've probably been on the ends of both sides. So would you rather be the hunter or the hunted?
That's a great question. Honestly, I don't care. Either way, I'm winning. If you're coming after me, you're coming after more than you can bite, more than you can chew. And if I'm going after you, it's about to be, it's about to be more than you can handle. So I think either way, I feel comfortable, and I think this team is comfortable either way. I think it's more appreciated being an underdog right now because these guys don't think about it, they don't worry about it. Next game, next opponent. Next game, next opponent. As they get older and get more known, and we stack a few seasons of good football on tape, things will change and circumstances will change. But I think the experience of being an underdog and being the unknowns will benefit them.
As someone who has covered Odell Beckham Jr. before, are there any tips you can give E-Man on covering him in particular?
Yeah, there are tons of tips I can give him, and I'm going to give them to him.
There was such a focus on the turnover battle, and certainly you guys have already made a huge jump from last season. The fact that so many guys have been crucial in getting picks and turning over the ball, what does it say about what this defensive unit has built this year?
Well, it's just that you don't do anything out of the ordinary. Very few of those picks have been crazy, extraordinary efforts by individuals. It's just guys doing their job, being in the right place, right time, and that's what I tried to make obvious last year. Is that that's great defense. It's not always an outstanding break or man, they trapped this guy or sometimes it's just guys doing their job over and over and over and over and trusting the system and trusting that if everybody does their job effectively, the D-line will hit the quarterback's arm or the ball will get tipped up or somebody will punch it out and it'll end up on the ground and you'll be right place, right time. But when you try to hunt for picks and turnovers, then you give up big plays. You're trying to jump this route. You're like, oh man, I just need to make a play. I need to make something happen. I need to change this game. Well, you're going to change it for the worse. Sometimes, you're gonna sit there and try to get a pick six and give up six. So it's all about being disciplined and trusting the guy next to you. And I think our team is doing a great job of that.
Consistency there.
Consistency for sure. Consistency is every day in practice, every day in OTAs, and that's what allows us to have the trust that we have right now with one another. Some of these guys have only played together 3 games, and you see a level of trust that goes beyond those 3 games because every day we've taken the practices serious, we've taken the workouts serious, and it's built the trust that you need to play effectively.
Richard, people talked about with Kyle's run game that he really challenges guys' eye discipline and then can also make defenders just hesitate even for a split second, which can make a difference. Do you understand kind of what they're talking about and what might be an example of?
Oh, he challenges not only eye discipline, he challenges gap integrity. He challenges different teams play the run different ways. Some teams like to, each guy has a gap, one gap. Football, some guys, you'll have a D lineman who has this gap or this gap depending on what he sees. And Kyle will challenge and move. He'll start a run on the hash and be into the boundary. And the run will hit in the A gap on the opposite side of the numbers. And that's almost 30, 40 yards away. And so when you're moving the entire run game, the entire O-line, D-line, 40 yards away and the running back's just waiting for a gap to pop, that's tough. That's strain. That's putting a lot of stress on the defense, play in and play out. Because sure, you can guard it, you can stop it for 1 play, but can you stop it for 6 plays? And then when you're chasing the ball 30 yards away and the quarterback still has it, and you look up and the receiver's catching the ball right behind the linebacker who's chasing the ball 30 yards away. So it really messes with your eyes, your discipline, your rules, because some of the plays he draws up, there's really no answers for.
You've talked about Emmanuel Mosley in practice, and Robert talked about how he has a short memory, but it seems to me that you really don't know what you got in a player until you see him in an actual game.
Right.
So I'm sure you've been around players who've been great in practice and not good in games. Why is that? What does Emmanuel have to be able to do to carry over the practices to prime time?
You got to treat him the same. You got to treat him the same in the respect that you take as serious practice and practice reps and the detail in which you put into them And also, don't change things up on game day. Sometimes game day guys get overhyped and hyped up and anxiety and butterflies, and then you start to see different things than you saw in practice because you weren't taking it the same. You weren't treating every rep like it's game-like. And when you start to treat things like it's game-like in practice, then the transition is much cleaner. You know, you're not just walking around practice like, hey, oh, he caught that one. I would have had that in the game. Or man, oh, I would have broke that up in the game. Oh, man, I saw it. You know what I mean? Some guys play at a different pace in practice, and they can turn it on in the game. And other guys have to play at this pace all the time because that's all you know. That's you play at this pace, and on game day I'm going to play at the same pace because I need to know what the spots I'm going to be in and the plays I can make and I can't make, and try to adjust my accordingly. And he practices how he plays.
How different is the approach this year, just in terms of pre-snap disguises you guys are doing in your coverage, and how much has that benefited so far?
Well, it's a lot different than it was last year because guys are more comfortable back there. Obviously, Tart has been back there for a while. Timo has come in and done a good job of stepping right in and understanding what we want to show and how we want to boss and disguise things. And I think it's benefited us tremendously. But, you know, at the end of the day, it starts up front, and you can disguise, you can make it look clean, you can make it look ugly, and if they go out there and wreak havoc, then it all works.
Guys?
Thank you.